Be ready, chosen one, because someone in your life has been pretending, and their mask is finally slipping. Right now, at this very moment, there is a person close to you, someone you trusted, someone you opened your heart to, someone you believed in, who has been living a double life. They smile in your face, but behind closed doors, they speak words about you that would chill your spirit. They've twisted your truth, claimed your victories, and played the innocent victim while subtly casting you as the problem. If you ever saw the full truth of what they've said and done, if you heard the conversations they've had in secret, you wouldn't speak to them again. Not because you're bitter, and not because you hold grudges, but because their deception runs so deep, their lies are so bold, and their betrayal is so deliberate. It would shatter every illusion you ever had of who they were. This isn't your imagination. This isn't paranoia. This is truth pushing its way to the surface. And if you're hearing this message right now, it's because your spirit led you here. You didn't click this video by accident. Deep down, you already sensed something was off. You felt it in your gut. You saw it in their energy. You noticed the way they avoid your eyes, the way they change the topic, the way they've pulled away while pretending everything is normal. Stay with me until the end, chosen one, because the biggest revelation is still unfolding. And if your spirit is responding to this right now, type 777 in the comments to affirm that you're awake, aligned, and ready for the truth. Think about how this person has been acting lately. The conversations feel forced. Their presence feels strange. There's distance, awkward silence, excuses, and sudden busy energy that wasn't there before. They've drifted toward new people and new environments, and on the surface, it might look like they're simply moving on. But the deeper truth is this: they're running. They're not distancing themselves because they don't care. They're distancing themselves because they can't face what they did. They're avoiding you because your energy exposes their guilt, and they are terrified that you're about to discover everything. What separates you from everyone else in their life is simple. You see through masks. You always have. You pick up on lies without needing proof. You sense deception before words are even spoken. You can look someone in the eye and instantly feel whether they're hiding something. That's not a learned skill. That's a spiritual gift you were born with. And that gift is exactly why this person fears you. To everyone else, they present the perfect performance. They act innocent, confused, soft-spoken, even sweet, pretending they don't understand why things feel strange. They play the victim so convincingly that others believe them without question. But with you, the act collapses. Your presence makes their truth leak out. Their mask cracks the moment they stand beside you, and they know it. That's why they've been avoiding you. Every time they look at you, they see the lies they've told reflected back at them. Here's the reality they've been hiding. They've been living two versions of themselves. In one life, they laugh with you, talk with you, and act like they care. But in their shadow life, the side you weren't meant to see, they've been speaking words that would break your heart. They've minimized your achievements. They've questioned your character. They've spread small lies, just subtle enough that people don't question them. They've positioned themselves as the hero of a story where you're portrayed as the problem. And in the most twisted part of it all, they've taken your wins and claimed them as their own. Your blessings, your effort, your wisdom, they've repeated them, retold them, and repackaged them as if they came from their own journey. They've worn your light like a costume. Maybe at first you couldn't quite explain what felt wrong. Maybe you brushed it off and told yourself you were being too sensitive. But your intuition wasn't wrong. You felt the theft. You felt the betrayal. You felt the energetic shift long before any evidence appeared. And now that the truth is rising, everything is starting to make sense. For some of you, this person was someone you loved, someone you shared your heart with. Instead of honoring that love, they betrayed it. They lied. They ran. They jumped into something new, not because they found real connection, but because it's easier to fool someone who doesn't know their past. With a new partner, they can rewrite the story, pretend they were the one who was hurt, pretend they were the one who was wronged. And that new person, unaware of the truth, believes every word. But if you look closely, you'll see it. Behind their smiles is emptiness. Behind their laughter is restlessness. Behind their moving on is a soul that knows it's living a lie. Because even with someone new, they cannot escape the truth of losing you. For others, this betrayal came from family blood. Someone you grew up with, someone you shared memories with. And the pain cuts deeper because you expected loyalty. You believed family meant safety, but jealousy has been brewing in them for years. They've been comparing themselves to you, resenting your growth, watching your blessings unfold, while quietly wishing you'd stumble. And for many of you, the betrayer was a friend, someone who studied you, admired you, copied your style, and then used what they learned to elevate themselves while undermining you. They wore your essence like a disguise, using your voice, your ideas, your energy to impress others while planting seeds of doubt about you. Some of you were even sleeping beside an enemy, someone who envied your spirit while pretending to love you, someone who wanted your gifts but never wanted you to win. Your heart could never do what theirs has done. You would never take credit for someone else's blessing. You would never smile at someone while plotting behind their back. You would never claim what isn't yours. Your heart is genuine. Theirs is stained with jealousy, insecurity, and a desperate need for approval. And here's the thing they can never replicate. They can copy your words, but not your wisdom. They can mimic your style, but not your soul. They can imitate your actions, but they cannot carry your anointing. Their foundation is built on stolen pieces, and stolen foundations always collapse. This is why they can't face you now. They know your presence would expose them instantly. They don't even need you to confront them. Your light alone unravels their lies. So they run, they hide, they surround themselves with people who won't question their stories. But truth has a way of rising. Every lie they've told is coming to the surface. Every mask they've worn is cracking. Every secret betrayal is about to be revealed. And when it all comes out, the picture will be bigger than you expected. It's not just one lie or one moment. It's a pattern, a habit, a character flaw that has existed all along. And when the revelation hits, you might feel hurt. You might feel angry. You might grieve the version of them you thought was real. But hear this clearly. This exposure isn't coming to break you. It's coming to free you. You've been carrying dead weight. You've been investing in someone who was draining you. You've been making space in your life for someone who never supported your growth. This is divine timing, clearing your path. Not to punish you, but to protect you. Not to hurt you, but to heal you. Not to take anything from you, but to prepare you for the blessings that require a cleaner circle and a clearer heart. You're being elevated now. And elevation always requires separation. Not everyone who walked with you is meant to rise with you. And this moment, this unveiling, is happening because your destiny is calling. and the universe refuses to let deception travel with you into your next season. All those tiny nudges you've been feeling, the gut tugs, the odd dreams, those moments that felt off, but you couldn't name, those were breadcrumbs leading you here, your spirit quietly pointing the way, and now you're ready to see it with clarity. Hear this. You are not ordinary in how you sense people. Most people can be deceived and never notice. Most people can be told lies and keep trusting. Most people move through life blind to shifts in energy, but you aren't wired that way. You're spiritually tuned, highly intuitive, and deeply discerning. And that's exactly why phonies don't last around you and liars unravel when you're near. This person saw that in you. They watched how others gravitated toward your presence, how you entered a room and the atmosphere changed, how blessings seemed to flow to you with a kind of ease they couldn't manufacture, and instead of being inspired, they became envious. Instead of learning from your light, they schemed to borrow it. Instead of celebrating you, they tried to claim you. What they failed to grasp is that your anointing can't be stolen, your calling can't be duplicated, and your purpose cannot be plagiarized. What is stamped on your life carries your signature, and imitation, no matter how convincing, never holds the same power. They can parrot your words, but those words won't land the same. They can ape your mannerisms, but they can't replicate your authenticity. They can attempt to follow your path, but the destination was never mapped for them, and that is why they're hollow inside and cannot find rest. Even now, despite their distance, they're still watching you, checking your posts, asking mutual friends about your life, measuring your progress against their own pretend success, and every time they see you thrive, it gnaws at them. Your peace disturbs their fake peace. Your elevation reminds them of their moral decline. And because the spiritual cord between you still resonates, they cannot fully escape the truth your presence broadcasts. That's why they stay away, because closeness to you equals proximity to exposure, and exposure is what they most fear. They've built a fragile fantasy, and even one honest conversation with you could unravel months of lies, so they hide, believing distance will protect the illusion, but distance cannot stop divine timing, and distance cannot prevent what is done in darkness from stepping into the light. Secrets whispered in private eventually echo from rooftops, and we are entering that season now, the season of revelation, when masks drop and true faces appear. Brace yourself, because when this truth arrives, it won't be a single, tidy confession you can sweep aside. It will be a flood, a cascade of details from multiple sources, unexpected evidence that fills in the shape of the whole deception. And you might hear it from people you didn't expect or stumble upon it in places you weren't looking. When that moment comes, remember what your spirit already told you. You knew. This is confirmation, not surprise. Don't let them gaslight you into doubting your own perception. When liars are cornered, they don't suddenly choose honesty. They become more theatrical. They'll cry, they'll apologize, they'll promise change, they'll beg for one more chance, and they'll play the wounded party so well others will pity them. But think, someone who truly respected you would never have betrayed you repeatedly. Someone who truly loved you wouldn't steal your light and then act like the victim. Their contrition is often another layer of manipulation. And if you accept them back without boundaries and accountability, you will not reclaim safety. You will simply teach them how to lie better. So how do you respond when the full picture drops? First, grieve. Grieve the version of them you believed in. Grieve the relationship you invested in. Grieve the loyalty you expected. because even if the connection was a mirage, the feelings you poured into it were real and deserve acknowledgement. After you grieve, release. Close that chapter with dignity. Remove them from your space, not out of vengeance, but out of self-respect, because you deserve companions who celebrate your rise, who honor your truth, who uplift rather than undermine. When you clear out what's false, the universe fills the space with what's real. When you let go of counterfeit connections, genuine ones can arrive. This is divine separation, spirit cutting cords that stifle growth. The universe clearing obstacles dressed as opportunities, and yes, it's painful and uncomfortable. But that pain is purposeful and temporary. You are not losing something of value. You are reclaiming clarity. On the other side of this awakening is a cleaner, clearer life, aligned with who you are and where you are going. Now understand this. The betrayal you experienced wasn't a random lapse. It was patterned and practiced. This person didn't stumble into deceit. They perfected it, and you were one of many caught in the net. That's why their behavior is so hard to believe. They know exactly how to keep you trusting, when to drift, how to flip the script and play victim. But you are different. You woke up, you started asking questions, you trusted your instincts instead of their narratives, and because of that, they are panicking. They can feel the spell breaking. You are standing at a crossroads. One road leads back to the familiar cycle of apologies and repeated hurt, a comfortable trap where nothing shifts because the core work never happens. The other road leads away from the known, into a lonely but liberating unknown where you protect your peace, refuse to be guilted back, and release the need for closure or explanation. The second path asks for bravery now, but yields your power, your peace, and your freedom in the long run. And Spirit is aligning with that path. Divine timing is giving you the strength to choose it. Finally, if you're asking, how did I miss this? Stop that line of questioning right now because it's unhelpful and untrue. You didn't fail. You were human and compassionate. And compassion often makes us vulnerable, not blind. You trusted when trust was deserved. You loved when love was warranted. And the fact that someone used that goodness against you does not make you naive. It makes you human, and it gives you the clarity to walk away wiser and stronger. Trust yourself, honor your feelings, and let the revelation free you to step into the next season with a cleaner circle and a clearer heart. You didn't miss the signs, you saw them, you felt them, but you lead with love and give people the benefit of the doubt. You believe in seeing the best in people, and you don't jump to conclusions without evidence, and those qualities are beautiful, and they make you who you are. This betrayal should not turn you hard or closed off, because the problem was never your trust. The problem was their inability to be trustworthy. Even when you doubted yourself, your spirit kept warning you through feelings, dreams, and moments of unease. And now you're finally listening, because everything you've survived, every painful season, every challenge, every setback, has been preparing and strengthening you for this exact moment. Everything you've overcome has built your resilience, your discernment, your faith, and your spiritual strength. And now you're positioned perfectly for the breakthrough that is already unfolding. Your wilderness season is over. Your preparation season is complete. And the shift is happening now. And your life is about to transform in ways that will prove your intuition was right. Your belief was divine, and your endurance was not in vain. This moment will silence doubters, validate your faith, and confirm that you were prophetic, not foolish. And your breakthrough begins now as you stand firm, believe boldly, and expect miraculously. If you're feeling guilty, wondering if you should reach out or be the bigger person, remember that forgiveness does not mean reconciliation, and it does not mean giving someone access to hurt you again. Forgiveness releases the weight without reopening the door, and you can forgive them and still protect your peace. You are not responsible for healing anyone. You are not required to stay connected to someone who repeatedly disrespects you. And your love, your energy, your loyalty are gifts, not obligations, and they should only be given to those who value them. Setting boundaries is not cruelty. Protecting yourself is not selfishness, because real love honors honesty and accountability, and anyone telling you otherwise wants you to tolerate their behavior. Understand that what they stole spiritually created a karmic debt, and the universe will repay it. You don't need to seek revenge or expose them, because truth always reveals itself, and their patterns will eventually catch up to them. Your job is not to orchestrate their downfall. Your job is to focus on your growth. Your season of reclamation is here, and everything they tried to block or steal is coming back to you multiplied. In the coming months, you'll see their karma unfold. Not because you wished it, but because universal law is real. While their harvest appears, your blessings will rise, because opportunities will return, resources will appear, clarity will flow, peace will settle, and your path will open wider than before, because removing them was the key that unlocked this next season. The question now is, are you ready to close the chapter? Are you ready to stop doubting your intuition? Are you ready to choose yourself and walk forward as the powerful, discerning, chosen version of yourself? Because if you're ready, the universe is aligned and the shift is already happening. And your freedom begins the moment you stop looking back and start stepping forward into the life that was always meant for you. Free, whole, elevated, and unburdened by people who never deserved a seat at your table. This is your moment. This is your confirmation. This is your release. Walk forward in power and peace, knowing that what is meant for you will never miss you, and what isn't meant for you can never keep you from your destiny. The new timeline is forming beneath your feet. Your breakthrough is not approaching, it's unfolding in this very moment. You are standing inside the doorway, inside the shift, inside the transformation. And now, to seal this energy into your spirit, to anchor this miracle into your reality, it's time for the final surge of alignment. Your inner world is recalibrating. Your soul is releasing the last remnants of the old cycle, and your spirit is preparing to rise into a higher frequency. Every breath you take is syncing you with a new destiny. Every thought is reshaping the path ahead. You may not see the full picture yet, but the vibration of change is already pulsing through your field. The universe is rearranging circumstances around you, removing what no longer belongs, guiding you toward what is meant for you. This moment is not random, it's divine timing. The energy around you is shifting with purpose, with intention, with precision. Trust the pull, trust the signs, trust the quiet whispers awakening inside your intuition. You are being positioned for elevation, expansion, and revelation. Your spirit recognizes this frequency even before your mind understands it. You are stepping into alignment, stepping into clarity, stepping into a destiny that was waiting for you to rise. This is your moment. This is your shift. This is your awakening.